Hello, good morning. Again, it's Colton, and this is the Mile 17 podcast. I am coming to you from my living room with my doodle, Kona. She's facing the other way, but we're here and we're here to chat with you. Today, we're going to chat about how to create a life that you don't have to escape from. And this is obviously something that we all can relate to. And I think we all can take something from this idea of living a life that you don't feel like you have to constantly get away from, and that you don't have to like wish and hope and pray for the weekend to get here every week, because it's only a couple days and you're back on your regular routine life. And again, for a lot of us, you may only get to go on vacation once, twice a year, maybe not at all, depending on what you're going through or where you're at in your life. And so I think it's so important to have a life that you don't feel the need to escape from. Now, we all love a vacation. We all love the time to decompress and put our priorities kind of to the wayside and get out and go just relax on an island somewhere or go see a new city. Like, yes, we all love to do that. But a place that I'm really trying to get to is not needing that time to re-energize myself. Like, I think it's a great time when you go on vacation to be able to relax, recharge, and just get your mind, you know, some rest. But if you have a life and a routine and, the daily grind is something that you dread, like what I've realized is like if I'm at that point in my life when I'm on vacation or when I'm exploring something else, like a lot of the time I'm thinking about the fact that, oh, I only have 2 days left. I only have 4 days left. I only have one day left and we're back to reality. And I don't think that's a very healthy way to live. Like to be like, oh, got to get back to reality. Like your reality should be amazing, should be fun. It should be uplifting. It should be inspiring, motivating. It should give you energy. And these vacations that you go on, these places you get to go see, should just supplement the life that you're already living. And I'm not saying it's like super easy to get to that point, but I think it's a really good idea and a good place to strive to be. And I'm going to give you a little bit of advice or some tidbits on where I think you could start to begin getting to this point in your life. So I think the number one way that you can begin loving the reality, the life that you're living in, is to start with your daily routine. Now, I don't want this to be like something so drastic, because if I tell you get a new job, get a divorce, or find a new friend group, like those are big major things. And that's not something that happens overnight. And that may be very daunting and scary and difficult. So I think it's really important and good and healthy to start with your daily routine, because that is something that you can change now. You can literally change it right this second as you're listening to this. You can decide that you want to change your morning routine and your daily routine at that, and begin to kind of craft your life around that. Because if you have a good foundation and you have somewhere to start, like you're going to gain some momentum and start rolling this into like every aspect of your life, whether that be your relationship, your finances, your career, and parenthood. All these things are going to start ripple affecting based on your foundation that you've built on your daily routine and habit. So here's where I began to really change the foundation of my life and start feeling better from living this life that I hated. If you took me back to, gosh, what would that have been? 2022. So, that's just about 2 years ago. I was miserable. Like, I was downright miserable. I've gone back and read some of my journal entries from around that time, and it's kind of scary how miserable I actually was. Like, every day was a struggle for me to get through. I hated what I was doing for work. I didn't have a healthy routine. I didn't have a healthy relationship with my partner. Like everything around me was crumbling. And now that I'm looking back, like a lot of it had to do with me and the way that I was choosing to live my life. And the fact that I didn't have a foundation to even stand on. I didn't have a base to stand on to start building something that I love to do every single day of my life. And this is not to say that I don't have setbacks, and I'm in the thick of it still. I'm still going through it and still trying to like work things out and figure out, exactly how I can make this life mine and something that I love to do every single day. And I'm not fully there yet. I've gotten much better, and I can tell you I've improved a ton since 2022, but there's still so much work to be done and some tweaks that I need to make to start living like the life that I feel like I really want to live. I had to ditch that beanie because my head is like itchy, my ears were itching. It was just uncomfortable. So I ditched the beanie. So my hair's a mess. You know what? Sorry, but I'm not really sorry. So what I mean by your daily routine, what are you doing first thing in the morning? And I think I heard this from Rachel Hollis. A great way to look at your routine, your daily routine, is the fact that it starts the night before. Like, what time are you going to sleep? What time are you stopping scrolling through social media, looking at your phone, and watching TV? The act of actually looking at a screen can, in fact, ruin the quality of your sleep and impact the quality of your sleep. But for me personally, I feel like when I'm scrolling through social media right before I go to sleep, that it's just information overload, or I see something stressful on the news, or someone close to me, or a friend or a family or whoever share something, or like I just go down these rabbit holes and then I can't think. Like then I'm trying to go to sleep and that all I can think about is like the million things that I just scrolled through because my brain is now just like thinking so fast. And that is unhealthy for me, and I think you could probably relate to that too. That if you start looking through all these things and like all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, like I can't even sleep, I'm so anxious now. So I've really tried to be intentional with this, and I don't do great every night, but I really try to like put my phone down at least an hour before I go to sleep. And I'm also not somebody who should be watching TV because if I'm watching a sporting event, that also gets me like super amped up. And like when I'm trying to go to sleep, now like my adrenaline's going and I can't sleep. Same with like if I'm watching something on TV that's like scary or something, like it's just not healthy. It's not good for me. I try to put it all aside. I've really tried to get in the habit of reading before I go to bed because it's super helpful. Because one, when I'm reading at night, it makes me tired, and if I can sleep or if I can read until the point where I'm like my eyes are barely open, like I just kind of put the book down and off to sleep I go. So your daily routine really starts the night before. And then when you wake up in the morning, like what are you doing? And you don't have to follow every single thing that I'm saying. Like not everything that I do will work for everybody, but I think that it will maybe spark some ideas or give you like a foundation or like something to bounce off of that you're like, oh, I think I can like do this in my own way. But in the mornings, it's not always perfect because here's the reason why. My partner and I, we share a car. So there's some mornings where like today, for example, I woke up at around 5:30 and we had to leave by like 6 o'clock to get him to the airport for work. And so, like, I literally woke up, had some food and a protein shake, and made sure I had my gym stuff, and off I went. So, that's not how I like to start my day, but like, that's just the cards we had dealt. I'm not going to get up any earlier than that because of my sleep is being disturbed. And I really wanted to get a good night's sleep. So, woke up at 5:30, got him to work, got myself to the gym. And then I got home and I've been able to do the things that I would like to do when I first get up, like have time for myself, get my journal out. I'm really working on a gratitude journal and getting my thoughts out and my vision. That's very important for me right now is to like see my vision, see what I'm wanting to achieve in my life, see what I want to work towards at this moment in my life. And that just kind of sets a foundation for my day. And if I've gotten that sleep from the night before, I'm feeling great, I'm feeling refreshed, and I have a clear mind to start my day. And with me having a irregular schedule as far as nursing goes, I work 3 12-hour shifts a week, if that's the bare minimum. And on top of that, I have other jobs, I have other obligations that I have to do. So my days look kind of different. But at the core of what I do, I keep the foundation the same as far as journaling every single day, reading a book that's giving me knowledge every single day, working on personal development and growth, limiting my screen time, especially at night. And the last one that I really focus on, especially on my days off, it's not as easy when I work because I'm there sun up to sundown, getting my body outside and getting some nature. I really need the nature. I need the sunlight. I need to feel the fresh air, hear the birds, whatever the season is. Like I just need to get out there and just feel the world feel the earth, feel the nature, and be out there. And with that comes moving my body. I love to move my body. I think everybody should move their body. It is the quickest way to snap out of something that you've gotten yourself into, as far as like a bad mood, or you're just kind of spiraling. Like if you can just like pause yourself, go outside, go for a walk. Even if you're working a 9 to 5 desk job, like, okay, stand up and for 5 minutes do some squats, do some push-ups. Like this stuff is free. You don't need any equipment. If you can just like move your body and just like change the energy that's flowing through you, it's going to like alter what you do next and how you see the next couple hours of work. Do you see what I'm saying? Like you have to like have a good core foundation in order to live this life that you love. Okay, so now that we've kind of got like the daily routine, the habits. Oh, one more thing is the food that I eat, the nutrition, the things that I fuel my body with. Very important to me. From a foundational viewpoint, my diet is pretty healthy: chicken, salmon, turkey, vegetables, lots of spinach, bell peppers, sweet potato, some rice, a lot of eggs, egg whites, protein pancakes. We do eat some bagels. Like these are all things that I like really pound into my life and integrate into my life, because it's important to me to live as healthy as I possibly can. And in order for me to do that, I have to have a good foundation of habits, and that be a part of my everyday life without me having to even think twice about it. Like I don't even wake up in the morning, like, yeah, sometimes I have to like think like, okay, like what do I want for breakfast today? But for the most part, like I already know like my day's gonna be filled with like health and wellness, and that's so important to me. The next way that you can begin to create a life that you don't have to escape from is to alter, change, figure out the people you want to be around every day. If you are filling your time with toxic people who are negative and who constantly complain and hate their lives and hate their job and hate their partner and are talking to you every day about how much they hate everything, it's going to start bleeding into your own life and start affecting your own mental health. So be very aware, be very cautious of who you're spending your time with. And I don't know where I heard this, but it's basically like the 5 people you're spending your time with, that's who you become, because like it's energy, our energy gets exchanged. And before you know it, like now you're bitching about your job, you're complaining about your partner, and you're not being uplifting and positive and just like working on yourself and happy to be here and living a life that's fulfilling and positive for the most part. Of course, we all have things that happen. It can't be 100% of the time, but as a generalized statement, living a happy, uplifting, positive life. The next thing is doing work that's meaningful to you and offering you the lifestyle that you want to live. Now, this one is very touchy, and I think can be very difficult because it's not easy to just like pick up your job and be like, okay, here's my magic wand. I want to do this. Done. Like it may be work. You may have to grind. This may be like years in the making. But like if you can see where you want to be, if you have that journal and you're writing out your vision and you can see where you want to go, you could start making those little steps to get to where you want to be. That maybe in 5 years, you're going to wake up and be like, oh shit, I have this job, I have this life, I make this amount of money that I was wanting 5 years ago. Like, look back at my journal. This is something that I was manifesting, and this is something that I was working towards, and I freaking made it happen, man. Like, I got here. So I think that's a really important one. Is to, if you can somehow find the way to craft and manifest it, make reality the life or the job that you really want to have, that is so powerful, because we spend a lot of time working. For the average person, if you're not like if you're a full-time mom, full-time dad, and that's what you do, like that's your job, that's amazing, and I hope that it's fulfilling for you and that you find ways to make that the best part of your life. But for the people that are out here working and having a career and wanting a job that financially and emotionally and spiritually just like fills their cup, then you have to work for it, and you have to like look write it out and manifest it and start making daily choices to get to that point in your life. And it's not easy, because if it was easy, guess what, as the old saying goes, everybody would be doing it. It's not going to be easy. It's a hard, difficult road. But if you really are passionate and want that life for yourself and for your family, then you'll make it happen. And it may not be exactly what you thought, and things may change along the way. But if you can start now and begin looking at your life and be like, this is where I want to be, while at the same time being thankful and grateful and happy where you're at, like, that's amazing. You have something that you're working towards, something that gives you passion and drives you forward. And and I do caution people though, like this is not something that you should like be like, okay, in 5 years, I want this job, and that's all you focus on. Like if you set that as your destination, you see it and be like, okay, I know what I need to do and what I want to do. And at the same time, simultaneously, be like, I'm so grateful and thankful for where I'm at. Like I'm learning, I'm getting there. Like, look at how far I've come. And as you're doing this process and tracking your progress, don't be so focused on the end goal. Like, be more focused on your progress. And if you can see what you've done in the last 2 years and be like, yes, I'm like, 10 steps ahead of where I used to be. Like, I'm going to keep this going, keep this train, keep this momentum going. Like, that's the important thing. Like, don't be so dead focused on the end goal, because then you're never going to be satisfied and fulfilled with where you're at. Like, then you're going to get there and the goal is going to only grow and get bigger. So then when you get there, you're going to be like, oh my God, like, I'm still not where I want to be. So I caution you, just it's a balance, and it takes constant work. And my last little piece of advice about this, making this life everything that you love and something that you don't have to escape from and get to vacation just to like enjoy a 1 week period of your whole year, is create a space that is relaxing to you, that is comfortable for you, that is aesthetically pleasing for you. Like, create that space. If it needs to be organized, if it needs to be minimalistic, or you like it to be colorful, like whatever you need in your space to make that the most cozy, comfortable, and aesthetically pleasing that you can, do it. You don't have to do it in an expensive way. Like, I think that if you have a space that can be yours and that makes you comfortable and that you love to come home to, like, that is so important. Like, after all of us go to work every day, or all of us go out and do whatever the hell we're doing, like, we have to come home, right? And if you hate where you live and you hate your house or you hate your apartment or whatever, you can change the inside of it. You can change the way it looks, reorganize, move some furniture around. Like, my apartment that I'm sitting in now, we have rearranged this thing like 3 or 4 times to finally get to a place to where we're like, oh, like, this is cute. This is aesthetically pleasing. And yes, if you can see the background right now, like, my couch is a little messy. I need to clean up, but whatever. And now that we have it aesthetically pleasing and comfortable for ourselves, we're moving. So it'll be fun. The next place we go to, we're going to make it cozy and, even better. And I'm looking forward to it. So that's my message today, guys, is don't live a life that you need to escape from. Like, that sucks. Like, we've all been there. We all have had a life that we're like, God, I can't wait to get on vacation. But your vacation's only going to last, we don't all vacation for a whole month. Like, and even if you do, like, then you're still going to go back to your reality, and it's still going to be there, and you're still going to be unfulfilled. And for the majority of your life, be waiting for that next vacation. And I don't think that's a healthy way to live. So I hope that these little tidbits and advice points helped you to kind of just like get your wheels turning and start thinking, like, how can I create this life that I don't feel the need to escape from? Like, even if you work a 9 to 5 job and you think like you can't really get out of that right now and you've got to keep showing up, like, that's okay. That's fine. So craft the things around you to where you are excited to get home from work. Like, you're excited to get back into your space and work on a project, or to get into the gym and start working on your body and working on yourself and journaling and working on your mental health. And like, there's so many different ways to get excited about life. And for me specifically, like, I've really struggled in the world of nursing for the last couple of years. And this podcast and this platform and like what I'm working towards has really just like changed my perspective and given me something to like look forward to and to love doing. And that's important. All right, guys. So thank you so much for coming by today. I hope that this helped somebody out there. And if you're really struggling, like, we're going to get through it. Take what I said and, interpret it into your own life and start changing things, and start going to bed earlier, start changing your daily habits and your routines and the people that you're hanging around. change your space, change what you're going into every day, make it cozy, make it aesthetically pleasing. No one's going to do the work for you, baby girl. You got to get out there and do it yourself. So, this is Colton. This is the Mile 17 podcast. Thank you so much for being here with me. I really hope this helped somebody. And if it did, share it with your family, your friends, put it on your social media. It really helps me if you rate, follow, like, subscribe to the show, whether that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. Follow me on socials at Colton Lord 17 on Instagram and TikTok. And you can find me on YouTube at Colton Lord. You can find me on Facebook as well. Just search Colton Lord in the Facebook search bar. And yeah, thank you guys. I'm so happy you're here. And let's keep doing this, keep getting better each and every day. And I'm glad to be here with you. Cheers.